What up, Devils? Sensei Tutum with an Easter weekend video for you. I got the S&P E-mini futures contract chart up here, as voted on at Twitter. Bypassed the EOS update this week just because there wasn't much going on, and I wanted to spice it up a little bit, do something a little different, get outside of the crypto world. So I put up a poll, and this is what in the traditional world, what you guys voted for. And I'm glad that you did, because it's an interesting chart. One I'm not trading yet. However, after looking at this, every time I do look at it, I wonder why I'm not trading it. I think the excuses are over, and I will be trading this chart within a couple weeks. This is just a beautiful. If you're a crypto fan, and you do Elliott, this is, to me, trades a lot like crypto. However, it has its own, I would say, own market traits that, in my opinion, make it easy for me to read. Of course, that doesn't mean you're always going to be right. It just means that potentially you could trade it more reliably than crypto, especially when you're looking at things like algorithmic activity and things like that. So let's go ahead and dive in. And I know that you guys that trade this, by the way, at Trade Devils, we have a very active community that trade the S&P on a daily basis. We have active Forex traders, which, I am in the Forex market. I do trade that. But Dave, our Sensei Dave, that doesn't do videos, so some of you guys that only watch our videos may not be familiar with him. He pretty much runs the foreign exchange room. He's our FX Jesus, as I call him. Sam kind of runs the S&P ES area, and then me and your boy Hove hold down the Degen room in the for the crypto guys. And you don't have to be one or the other. We have guys that float between all the rooms. And I will soon be doing that as well. So, because I do already trade the foreign exchange, but I need to get on this chart. And just because it's a beautiful chart, to me, it trades easier than anything else, in my opinion. So just to get some perspective, I have a chart up here on the ES showing from the 09 low. And what I think we've got going, and this shocker is exactly like my regular S&P chart, is that we're moving up, and we're in the fifth wave of the fifth wave for the move off 08. So this longest bull run in history is unfortunately coming to an end, at some point, much closer to the end than the beginning. And however, when it corrects, I only have it correcting this. So I don't think we'll be correcting, end of times sort of thing, from the beginning of time to make the end of times, as you see out there all the time in the news. But, just wanted to give some perspective. And right now, what we've got, if we zoom in on this, is at this degree, we've got a nice algo entry and target here, and a count that needs to come to completion. So to me, for trading, you're trading within this perspective. I always like to have a few degrees of perspective above what I'm trading. It's not required. You really only need to have the perspective of your degree that you're trading. But for me, my due diligence, if I'm going to trade a chart, I spend hours and hours on it, and not just on the degree I'm going to trade. I'm going to, it's the couple degrees above me, so that I'm very happy to know where I'm. Why would I do that? Leave that on there, so that I know where I'm at, when I can expect pivots, et cetera, just so I can have a reasonable excuse me. Sorry about that. Pollen. But that way I have a reasonable expectation of what price is going to do. So this is what I've got. This is what I came up with. So also, when we were zoomed out, I should have brought this up, but I'll bring it up now. One of the traits of this market, every market has its characteristics. It's a unique individual, just like you. It's a snowflake. And for this market, to me, the main underlying characteristic is that there are light retracements. In foreign exchange, I would say it's kind of the opposite, deep retracements, and dillies. But this market is methodical and light in the retrace department, but counts very well. So taking that into account, what we see here is a count full of light retracements, especially this one here, this wave 4, this potential 4, this sharp 4, that's even smaller than the degree of this 4. But when you look at it, it makes some sense. We'll get into that. So let's work from the bottom up. We have the clean ABC down into the 50, right? And then out of that, we've got strong dilly off the low where the algos bought it, and then a sharp retrace off of that, and another 1-2. No other way to count this other than another 1-2. And this 2 wave is what is characterized as a sideways style of correction. 3, 3, 5. And then coming off of that low is another strong dilly out of it, and what looks like a 1-2, and then another 1-2. We don't get the overlap here, but the length of this and the fact that it looks like an expanding diagonal potentially just gives you indication that this can't really be a 3 wave, right? So don't be afraid to say 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and then we have here a 3 wave that is of similar length to the 1 wave, a little bit longer as you might expect, because of course what that indicates is that the 5th wave will be extended, and you can't have 3 as the shortest wave. So this is the perfect setup for an extended 5th wave of this 3rd wave. So what do we get on that? So if you measure 0 to 3, you get a, longer than 618. But let's see. Hold on. Maybe it's better to take a measurement of the 1 to the 4. Let's see. 1618. No. It doesn't quite fit either. Let's see. Really no extended wave, eh? Let's take another look here. Shorter than 1. No, yeah. 5 is shorter than 1. Oh, no, that's 1. I'm sorry. I thought that was the 618. 5 is just a hair longer than 1. No extension. Interesting. But it is an extended wave, because if you look at it, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are all similar in amplitude to this. But that is interesting. You don't always get an extension, and that is a case where you will not. Very cool. So maybe that explains in this case why you get the light retrace. So we have the 1, 2, similar magnitude for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For the 3 to make the extended wave, and then 4 up for the 5, and then I imagine this 1 will be a similar length. It is very similar. Let's see. Where'd that fib go? Oh, there it is. Yep, very similar in length to 1. So extended 3rd, but no extended subwave of 3rd, and then 1 to 1 roughly on the 1 and the 5. So there's your, on that degree, 1, 2, no extended subwave, but extended 3, 4, 5, and that put us up for the second 1, 2, 3, and then again very sharp 2. And did we have a truncation over here of some type? Well, we can look at this closer in a second. I haven't looked very close on that yet. Sort of freestyling this, was actually doing a freestyle on this, but the video got a little too long. I'm too long-winded to do a freestyle for you guys. In any event, so we have this 3, 1, 2, 3, light 4. Now the reason that I'm okay with this very sharp retrace is because we have this sideways for this wave, and for this chart, this 2 is deep. That's real deep for this. I mean, you might even have violated the algo at that, which has not happened very often. My fib levels are all messed up. Yep. So you potentially got stopped out on algo there. Maybe not, depending on when he is taking his stop losses on time frame closes and things like that. But so very deep 2, but it's sideways. So this is a very shallow 4, but sharp. Now, and then of course you have your 1, 2, and then 3 would have completed up here. And then working on 4 potentially. Let's get in here and look at this. Are we working on 4? Is this the 3, 4 of this brown count, or orange, whatever color it is? We are on the 1 hour. Let's go down to 30-minute, get some clarity here. And so this is now full freestyle, fellas. Strong reaction out. 1, 2. Let's see here. Some sort of diag potentially there. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5 for 3. And then let's see, 4. Where's 5 going to be? There. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. More like that. Flat. Shallow, just like that last 4 in the larger degree. Kind of makes sense in fractal nature of things. That's sort of a fractal of that. And that ended the 5 there on this fractal. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I like that. So flat, flat, fractal. Look at that fractal. Just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and circle it, square it. That thing to that thing. That's pretty nuts. Nice fractal spot there, Toot. So I'm liking the count just because now I've got the 3, 4 here, 3, 4 here. So if that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then I would say we potentially still want this to be. Not sure how we eke a 1, 2 out of here. I'm going to not get down in the weeds too much right now and just trust the pivots at this point, just because I don't want to get too long-winded again. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. Okay. So let's take this to submicro. Change color. All right. So yeah, so far I'm liking this count. So that means that we have a pretty good case that this this fifth could be in this fifth of this third of the larger degree. So 1, 2, 3, 4, no overlap. 5, and then 3, 3, 5 there potentially, or does 5 end here? Let's zoom back out again. Look at the forest through the trees, right, fellas? So if that finishes this fifth of that degree, this 4, we would need to get down to, I mean, we would at least expect to test these lows, if not lower. So I probably want to just say the 5 ends there some type of way, without getting too in depth into it. Again, if I was going to start making trades on this right now, I would spend a lot more time in on this count. But for now, a lot of times when you do that, you count it for hours. You could count this thing for 30 minutes, and then you end up, the count ends up being exactly what it was that you threw on there, just checking pivots and all. Unless we had somehow a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, expanding, working on expanding diagonal potentially. I don't like that as much. I don't like that nearly as much, but potentially. So let's say if we're not done here, we're done quite soon. And now you start checking your algos for fine-tuning entries. So right now, you're at on Monday, you're at if you get back into this golden pocket, you got a really good retest potential area. And in this market, I would say, if you want to take a short try here, I would say very much that you're going to want to take a tight stop on the 65. Wouldn't do that in crypto. Personally, I don't do that in crypto. But in this case here, I would definitely, if you're looking to short, take a tight stop on the 65, or potentially, let's see. Yeah, that seems like a pretty damn good play just based on this count and that algo. Let's look at some large degree algos and see where we're at. Have we made target, et cetera, et cetera. So talking about algos, because now that we have our Elliott count and it's, let's call it a rough count, you can start fine-tuning this thing. So you start going in, checking your algos, checking your smaller degree geometry, your large degree geometry as well. See, we have this this parallel that would act as potential support when we come down. So that's, if you are going to short this, and depending on what your target is, that's one potential spot to look for profits. So let's see if it lines up with any confluence areas. Right about with your third profit take on that algo. So keep that in mind. So let's look at just the algos we have moving along this. So we saw here that we had one here, but it was potentially stopped out, right? Let's walk him up. So let's just assume he stopped out, or never even maybe got entered into the market. So with this one here, we got a perfect 50 touch, and then clear reaction 1, 2, reaction at all three algos. So very nice. All right, so let's just say you got his third profit take here. Then we're going to want to draw from here. He gets stopped again. So we'll draw from this. Perfect 50, target, and target. Look at that. Reaction all the way through. So that's very beautiful. I mean, that's so technical, guys. There's so many algos on this market. So now that we've got all three targets, let's walk it up. We'll take swing high, right to the 50, target. So, maybe we get back down to here to put in this 4. Look how shallow this 4 was. Yeah, so we could potentially swing down, and then you want to pull the target again. But we got 1, 2, and now working on the third, and both of these realized all three targets. Eventually, they're not all going to realize all their targets, but remember, this is only the 3 at this degree. So you got your 5 up here, and this is an algo exit or an algo profit of the larger 4 zoomed out that I showed you before. So, and that's the 618 of the 0 to 3 for the 5th. So this is what I would expect as far as a high probability area for this to get to before, a significant retrace of any type. Not to say that we can't get down into this area here, but right now, you're definitely going to be in a fib fight between this algo, who you've got 2 previous pulls of that has made all 3 targets, and now you've got this short algo. So for my money, in this market, in any market, you trade with the trend. You've got this algo, and if you want to scalp an attempt on this, go for it. Play it super tight. You go down for this retrace, and you could still get these 3. But that's a counter trend trade. I would be looking for the entry to potentially go up and take this target and then this target. So that's what I'm looking at from an algo perspective, and they are the ultimate trade with the trend. And I could throw the pitchforks on here, but actually, let's do that real quick before we end. This is such a technical market, guys. I will definitely be trading this market in less than 2 weeks. Oh, look at that beauty right there. And this is just grabbing, what looks like significant pivots on this chart. I happen to be set up already for the shift by coincidence. Zoom out. Beautiful. Let's lock that. So let's see. That's definitely gonna be a holding you up if you're trying to short. Man, I don't know if I'd be short in this market right now, but if you're feeling frisky, keep an eye on this. You know, you could potentially play that golden pocket, have a profit take set here, and I would say that's the most relevant to the market right now. Let's see if we can't do some smaller degrees. Double median line right there, double shift median. So that's definitely going to have some importance to it. And this is why I don't usually throw the geometry on the chart with you guys, you know, live here, because it's a lot of, you know, setting things right on the pivot and then just, you know, soaking it in. What do I make of this geometry? So we do have a miss of a median line here. We do have a miss of this median line. That doesn't mean we're going to continue to miss it, but just means we have missed it thus far. So there's one for your bear case that you could take your short down to, you know, down to here. Let's see, is there another one I want to use? Let's do the smallest. And we've hit that median and reacted at it, of course. So what are we going to do next? Let's see. Let's put on the slow stotch. So, little known fact with the Andrews trading method, it uses the slow stotch. There's a method using the slow stotch to determine if it's a good buy or sell. An oversold condition at the median line touch is a good short signal, just based on Allen's on the Andrews principle. So you could have a nice short here. I wouldn't get too aggressive on my targets, and that does look like a nice A, B. Look for the C. Let's see, what's your risk to reward? What's your risk to reward on this counter trend trade? You know, let's see. Let's say this, and then you're gonna stop out at the just above the 65. And let's even go ahead and say full. I mean, the risk to reward on that's pretty huge, guys. So it's counter trend, but at this degree, it is with the trend because A, B, C. So this is currently the smallest degree trend. You got a high risk to reward. I don't know if the probabilities is high, but the risk to reward is just that's phenomenal, guys. I gotta trade this market, fellas. That's just I haven't seen a 16.8 setup risk to reward setup in ages in crypto. So yeah, beautiful chart, guys. I'd say that you could potentially take a swing at this. The risk to reward is well worth it, despite the fact that you're going against this trend at the larger degree that you really want to be with. And then, of course, if you're going to trade that larger degree trend, we had that 236 algo pool that was on the chart earlier. And that's really what you're looking to get an entry on to get up to on a little swing position. So yeah, Toot signing out here, boys. But I hope you guys like this. Did some freestyle. Tried to change it up a little bit. And just give you an idea of how I am when I analyze a chart. A small idea, because of course I'm typically not talking while I'm doing it, and just not sure if that's an interesting video. So let me know if you guys like this little freestyle type look. Of course, it's not again complete just because I'm talking the whole time, but this is a great chart. And this is a potential trade setup. Of course, then you're going with you want the largest degree trend trade setup for that higher 236, and just trade it wave by wave. As if you're a trader, that's what you want to do, fellas. Signing out.